Hello everybody. Welcome to the Lucid Visions YouTube channel. My name is Ashley and today we're going to check out Norco. Now, this was one of those games that flew under the radar for me. It came out in March. I found out about it a few days ago and it's completely up my alley. A point and click adventure game, but it's kind of set in Louisiana in a kind of sci-fi future. Which really does tick boxes for me. I watched a simple trailer, read a blurb, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going into this blind. I did start the game just to check a few settings, so this is all completely fresh for me going from here. So let's have a quick look. So this is the description for the game. Your brother Blake has gone missing in the aftermath of your mother's death. In the hope of finding him, you must follow a fugitive security android through the refineries, strip malls, and drainage ditches of suburban New Orleans. Immerse yourself in a surreal and uncanny South Louisiana. Norco's painterly cinematic pixel art draws the player into its quotidian sci-fi world. I have no idea what that means. Of disappearing swamplands, labyrinthine oil refineries and other landscapes inspired by the titular town of Norco. So, I am super excited to play this. So this is so up my alley straight away. I mean, looking at the art here, the pixel art design, it's ticking all the boxes before we've even begun. So let's crack on. Now, I'm fully aware there's quite a lot of reading in this game, so I'll be dusting off my reading voice and I'll be reading out all the lines of dialogue. I might need to have a sip of water midway through, but yeah, God, I'm really excited to play this one, so let's go. Shield hit the stars behind the halogen and flame projected onto the sky every night. There was no such thing as silence. The noise never went away. The refinery exhaled an endless sigh. Oof, I still can't sleep without that sound. Warm. In your dreams, the towers were grand cathedrals, places of worship. The swamps hid behind mirrors like spies. Birds transformed into radiant spheres and traced omens above the highway. So I am not a voice actor, so I'm definitely going to get a few of these lines wrong, so just bear with me. Oh, I'm loving this orange hue. Ooh, that beat. It's going in tandem with this. I'm loving the art style as well, look at this. This like kind of pixelated, kind of fiery, almost like sunset. Already really digging the visuals here. You spent your adolescence sleepwalking between little devastating rituals. Though Blake pleaded, you decided to leave. I didn't care. Who's Blake? But for a while you did. Okay, so I cared. Right. Trying to be blasé, but you caught out on a grainer to Chicago and onwards to the west coast. You'd never left Louisiana and thought you'd never return. So we're coming home. You thought the ghosts of the lowland wouldn't find you hiding along the road. Years carried you through overlit suburbs of the vast American limbo, across mountains above cell towers. Thumbing down 99, you saw an old man crouched in a roadside ditch. He was mouthing your name. He had a familiar gaze. He was gone when you wiped the sleep from your eyes. Oh, he was mouthing her name. Okay. I'm loving this though, like this pale blue with the kind of brown gold tones. Sounds good as well. You spoke to Blake, learning of your mother's declining health, her insomnia, her erratic behaviour. Jesus, we're starting heavy. Ignore the urgency in your brother's voice. By and by, you made your way east. You threw your phone into the Rio Grande. You joined the armies of Mesa. For months, you were in the company of fugitives. You slept in nuclear tunnels, repairing engines and weaponry. The war was a meme that set Albuquerque on fire. You escaped while the foot soldiers of the pop-up junta bloodied the parched land. While hiding in the berth of a freight liner. Look at this. I prayed, I slept, I forget. Yeah, we're not religious. We're distant. That's how we're going to approach this. We're distant. Things have happened to us, and we want to forget them. You called home from a landline in a motel somewhere beyond Texas. You knew from Blake's hello that your mother was already dead. Oh, okay. Oh wow, we're going heavy. I'm really enjoying the writing at the moment though so far. I mean, it's a little bit cryptic, but I'm liking it. You hung up, shouldered your bag, returned to the highway. 5 years had passed, the ghosts were calling you back home. Wow, so we're coming back to our Act 1, Lowland Ghosts. So we're coming back to our hometown after we've been told our mums died. Okay. You awake from a delirious dream to find yourself in your childhood bedroom. Monkey watches you from the corner. Okay. Okay. So I don't... Okay, so I can interact. And I can look. Okay, what do we read? Among the books on the shelf is a slim volume called Crisis LARPing. Let's read. The proto-disaster tourism began almost as soon as the floodwaters left. Punks from across the country ventured into the Ninth Ward, Gentilly, St. Bernard, and finally the East. They curated a theatrical self-portrait of their lives in ruins. The aesthetics of disaster was central to the emerging milieu. It began to percolate into popular culture. Collapse became the zeitgeist. Wise investors recuperated the experiences of disaster. New Orleans became a plastic dystopia, a marketplace for crisis. So it seems as though something's clearly gone bad, and what an oversimplification, right? Something's clearly gone bad, but it seems as though it's almost been cultural. There's no way to scroll back up. Would be nice to be able to read that again. But it seems like the punks have kind of come in and almost solidified that. Okay. A plant. You assume Million has been keeping the plants alive. Million. Okay, who's Million? Million, who are you? Okay, so we can interact with these. Let's look. A sticker from grade school, half peeled from the window. 5 years. So this was the person's bedroom. 5 years. They left to come back 5 years later. It's... Look, I mean, they've got a monkey, so how old is this person? Cool January air spills through the window. The low sun washes over the neighbourhood. A small flock of blackbirds dissolves into the tree line towards the lake. Commuter traffic glints along Apple Street as a pair of wrens reeve out of the overgrown lot next door. Oh, it's very poetic. Okay, monkey. What is this? This is terrifying. I'm actually scared. Look. What is that expression? Monkey, your best friend, a childhood gift. You spoke with him often when things got difficult, but then you left. He sat here for 5 years collecting dust. I'm really sorry, monkey. If I'd known, I would not have done that. 5 years, his eyes fill with anger as he challenges you to return his gaze. Staring contest part 1. Glyphs. Glyphs will appear and flash a pattern. Match the pattern to meet monkey's gaze. So is this I don't know what I'm doing. Is this a... Okay. Alright. Match the pattern. Sure. You successfully meet monkey's gaze. Whew, that was tense. We're friends now. However, this expression is unchanged. Okay, I suppose not. You stare more intensely. Staring contest part 2. Rings. Circles will appear over monkey's eyes. An outer ring will shrink to the perimeter of the circle. Click the circle when the outer ring locks into place. Oh, bang bang. Anger melts from monkey's face. Oh. You drape monkey over your shoulder. We've got monkey. Monkey stares at you. You stare at monkey. Should we keep staring? He stares with more intensity until he gazes past through you. You become invisible to him. Little circles of light pull in those tired eyes as they watch the infinite space beyond your being. The air that hangs between your eyes and his is a vacuum of utter stillness. You look away. Oh, I've never played a game where it's been so intense. Grabbing hold of a plushy monkey toy. Okay, so we've done the plant, we've done that, we've looked at there. We'll go for this. The laptop your Parain gifted you idles on the shoddy particle board desk. Wakey wakey laptop. As the screen illuminates, you notice that the signal in the house is dead. No internet. It looks like Blake was using the computer at some point. He left the browser tab open. Oh gosh. Why did I say I need to read this? Okay. Whoa, it goes. Okay, that's the top. Anybody still post here? Nope, place is a wasteland. Mods are all SJWs. That is social justice warriors, for you that don't know. You're posting. Nice one, jackass. Forgot I even posted. Wanted to run something by you, gents. Was knocking out Sakalay in the spillway. Saw a big round glowing thing in the sky. Call that the sun, OP. Funny, talk to somebody else. Seen it too clear. Too near the parish canal. This is like proper just gibberish chat, right? Bruh, that's the sun. Lower, I see that every day. OP has been rising and setting every day I've been alive. Drop it, fucks. Anyone seen or not? Nothing like this, but birds in them swamps be acting weird. We've all seen the brun. The brun? The sun, breh. Relax. Breh? Breh. Relax. Looked like it was made of glass, maybe. Would glow real bright, then not at all. Moved fast. Best pick I could get. All kinds of shit been happening out that way. Get some sleep, OP. Need cash fast? Install Quack Job. Use promo code BLEED3 for Quack Coin. Lol. The fuck kind of name is Quack Job? Just like the name sounds, full of lunatics. App's a way of getting you to join a cult. Worse than them people living in the mall in Kenner. You can't trade that coin they use on hardly any exchanges because everyone knows it's a good Ponzi scheme. Mods won't do a thing about shills, but they'll ban you on the spot for making a naughty for using a naughty word. Place is a joke. ClearNet's nothing but celebs, libs, and bots. A little bit of political commentary here, right? We've got some SJW hate. We've got an app trying to recruit people into a cult. I mean, obviously that could just be exacerbatory, as it were. Seen this exact thing, OP, still there. Seen it at the base of the upper suction. Right. So this is our character's brother. Alright, what's going on here? Whoa. Okay. Is this like a skill tree or something? You were travelling through the Midwest. The freight cars rattled in the cold dusk as you crouched on the grainier porch. Auto continue, off, on, off. Yeah, no, I want to be able to control this. Right. The cell towers peeked over the flat country, translating the notions of the world. The lights of suburban Memphis, the fences, the traffic, the stark shadows under a lavender blanket of clouds. Afraid, tired, silent and alert at each terminal, you watched the night decay for miles. Oh, that's beautiful writing. Decay for miles. This is some Disco Elysium level writing here. Then what? I say Disco Elysium, this reminds me a lot of Kentucky Route Zero, and Kentucky Route Zero is one of my favourite games. It seems as well that this particular game is also taking a few elements from Kentucky Route Zero, so like the idea of like the American dream, the industrial nature, the emphasis on the rat race in Kentucky Route Zero. This all does seem very industrial. Like Norco seems like a very industrial town, which I love, and they both reference the deep south as well. And this is based in Louisiana, so yeah, I'm absolutely digging this. I'm digging this a lot so far. Okay, you rode in the back of a van wedged between amplifiers from Chicago to Des Moines. I think it's Des Moines. I'm English. I think that's Des Moines. I've heard it once before. Let me know in the comments if it's not Des Moines, because I'm definitely not going to Google it, because I ignorance is bliss, right? I like to think that I'm right there. You stole a heater from Walmart and brought it to the poorly attended house show. God, we've got Walmart in here. Des Moines to Kansas City. Kansas City to Denver. Across the Rockies. Your friends went south and you were glad to be alone. You spent long nights along those highways in a shitty sleeping bag. You bathed in rivers. You watched the ocean of outer space. You watched the satellites travel along their course. Down the Pacific coast. I never get that one wrong. Summer days arrived. You built a bike in a garage in Eureka and took it south. Generator shows on the beach. Interstate on ramps teeming with personalities. The familiar smile on the face of the old man in the Central Valley ditch. Was that the guy from the ditch earlier? With the blue? That smile burned its image into your eyes. Okay, so this is me, and that's okay. Our home again. Because your brother needs you, because your mum died. You. Okay, this is deep. We've got a dead mum, we've come home, everything seems pretty bleak. Blake, that's the brother Blake, let's have a look. Your brother is a lot. Younger, reckless, gets in trouble, spends sleepless nights scrolling image boards. An edgelord, a shitlord, a sensitive soul, compassionate, foolish, can't take criticism, always needs money, tries to help those he loves but often makes things worse. Blake. What else? Insecure, dysmorphic, constantly checking his reflection, always seeking validation. Was terrified of you leaving, and now he's terrified of you dying. I'm not that harsh. You don't get over your mum dying like that. Savage. When I think of him, all I feel is guilt and obligation. No love or anything like that. Your brother. Man, I'm already feeling connected to these characters, and I've been playing for but I've been streaming for about 20 minutes so far, and I'm already quite invested in the relationships and the connections between them. So, wow, very impressed so far. He's oblivious. Your grandma once said that she didn't expect much from Blake. She said he was short-tempered, oblivious, and couldn't focus. Blake was sitting in a chair across from her, staring down at the tablet. After she left the room, you asked him how he felt. I feel fine, he said. Why? Because of what Gran said, you responded. He looked confused. What did she say? Your brother. So he wasn't even paying attention. That's pretty... Like, Gran cuts deep. Gran cuts deep. I know we've all got family members that are like that. And if you don't, good for you. You're lucky. Your mum died. Jesus. God. The cancer metastasized. Am I saying that right? Metastasized. It was in her liver, then her lungs, then it was in her brain. She was on chemo, never finished her third course. At the hospice on Jefferson Highway, Blake said the traffic shook the building. He left before she drew her last breath. Alone with the morphine drip and the rattling glass, that's how Catherine died. I just love that detail. I just love... Blake said the traffic shook the building. That's the kind of stuff that you weirdly remember when you're going through stuff like that. Okay. Did you guys just see that? Look at his face. Ditch man, you're terrifying. Ditch man, do you think everyone that's watching this should subscribe to my channel? Ditch man said it. Ditch man is the main MVP. We should probably listen to Ditch man. We should all strive to be more like Ditch man. The smile of the man who crouched in the ditch. I can't. Only subscribe if you like the video, right? If you hate it, don't subscribe. Don't like it. I should do better. The smile of the man who crouched in the ditch of the highway revisits your mind. His head was smudged with Wednesday's ashes and mascara ran from his eyes. Is that all we're going to get for Ditchman? But he's scary. It's Monkey all over again. Maybe Monkey is Ditchman. Right. I think we've cleared this room. So let's see. Where do we... Oh, there's a poster there. I didn't click on that. The flyer from your show your friend put on a few weeks before you let it down. Oh, from a show your friend put on a few weeks. A fight broke out while one of the opening bands played. I don't get involved in that. I'm too chill. You didn't feel like being around crowds that night. After the show, you and Blake shot fireworks from the roof of a hotel on Poydras Street. Sleepless and sober, the two of you walked back to Norco. You watched the sun climb over the grain elevators. You don't get in a fight, but you launch some fireworks. Standard. Right. We're in the living room. We can go through there. Oh, there's more than just a living room. We've got the... So we just come from the bedroom. We've got a kitchen and front yard. So we'll explore the whole of the inside first, and then we'll start going outside. Okay. Memories of sleepless nights, the dull refinery hum in the red halogen half-darkness, your mum sitting here staring through the window. There was a tension in her demeanour, as if you were interrupting some urgent and obligatory task. You'd continue to the kitchen with no words exchanged. But those nights were rare. Seems like no one in this family is particularly close. Many of them you simply don't remember. A letter from Shield Oil sits atop a stack of mail. Shield Oil Community Notice. Dear neighbour, please be advised. There will be elevated flaring at the site of our number 5 stack near Good Hope on the evening of Thursday, March the 19th. This will pose no health risk to residents. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact the Shield Norco Office of Community Engagement. So it seems as like there's no real escaping the situation in terms of their environment. It feels like it's even encroaching on their home at the moment. They're getting mail, even if it's not bad mail. It seems like there's a presence there. A family photo album. Let's take a peek. Yellowing pages of disposable photographs. Your grandfather, a peculiar look in his face, impossible to read. Your mum staring at Blake through the obscure lighting. He's dressed as a vampire tugging at someone's waist. Pleated khaki shorts. A photo labelled Duck. Scene of a barbecue on the lakefront. The man at the centre points playfully at the camera. His face is obscured. Turn the page and there's Blue, your father. Okay, Blue. Okay, so we've got our mum's dead, our brother is nowhere to be seen, and this is our father, Blake. Blue. Your father, though you've never thought of him that way, his skin stained by the sun, a canister of dip shoved into his front pockets, his easy smile, his knowing eyes. You set the book aside. Okay, right, so... Whoa, who's that? Blue. So our dad, basically. It's a vague memory. You don't remember Blue. Only the things he left behind. Photographs, cologne, tools, the name that your mother kept. Even the pictures that have survived the two failure to make out. Oh, that's sad. So a very distant father figure and a mum that's died. Really liking this. They're obviously, these are all connected, and I can see that there are a lot more of these to kind of unravel. I want to know what the reference, like what relevance Ditchman has. Told you, my early theory, Ditchman is monkey. Ditchman is monkey. It's got the same eyes. Alright, who's this? Your grandfather, Peter Pops Pierre Melancon. He passed away when you were a teenager. He seems to court controversy, though as a child you never understood why. He looks kind of like a scientist, right? Maybe he's like behind some sort of conspiracy. That is definitely some foreshadowing, though. An old friend of your mum's, your memory of him is scattered and vague. Okay. That is some depth. Some laundry? Your mum's unfolded laundry. That is really sad. That is really sad. Because obviously she's dead and she did not get a chance to fold it. An old, defective flat screen that your mum never bothered to bring to the curb. Can we use it? You turn on the television. A chaotic distortion of your mother's memories flash before you. Wait, this isn't the television then? It's not the television, it's actually her memories? Is this a vision from... Are we having a vision? That looks like an on-fire refinery, or like a junkyard on fire. Oh, that distortion's like uncomfortable. That looks like someone coming out of smoke. Like smoke, someone coming out. Or like someone's about to die, like it goes white. Looks like they're coming out of smoke. road? Or a train? Maybe? I'm so sucked into this right now. This is so cool. That looks like clearly like a real life like video clipping that they've kind of pixelated with a post effect. What does it all mean? Okay. I'm so intrigued. What's this? The heat of spring will soon arrive, and the mildewed air of the window unit will fill the room. Okay. A photo of your mum holding Blake as a baby on a beach in Pensacola, Florida. It's winter. You stand beside them, bundled up and laughing as a gust of wind rakes the beach. The sky is bone white. Okay, yes, we're not going to go outside just yet. You peruse the titles on the bookshelf. The western margin of the lake. Many tragedies have come to pass along the western margin of Lake Pontchartrain. This is going to be a recurring theme throughout these playthroughs. There are going to be words in here. I think I said this earlier. I don't want to keep repeating myself. I'm going to get some of these words wrong. And I'm probably going to swap words when I speak. As I say, not a professional voice actor, so please do bear with me. The unnamed hurricane of YW9D left the settlements of Frenia and LaBranche in a state of unrecognizable destruction. Those who survived did so by clinging for their lives to the limbs of cypress trees. The fables and secrets of those communities lie with the bones now scattered in the sediment of the lake. Oh, that's dark. Critiques of deliberate externality. S.H.I.E.L.D. has acquired much of Norco's most flood-resistant land through a variety of mechanisms. S.H.I.E.L.D. So S.H.I.E.L.D''s like a corporation, Norco's the place? S.H.I.E.L.D. has acquired much of Norco's, or is Norco a corporation as well? Sounds very corporate, doesn't it? Norco, like corpo. Okay, so S.H.I.E.L.D. has acquired much of Norco's most flood-resistant land through a variety of mechanisms. Medea and Moore YX1Y argue that one such mechanism is a process of deliberate externality. This theory posits that key corporate decision-makers encourage the company to emit effluent and noxious substances into the environment with the explicit intention of decreasing neighbouring property values. This compels residents to sell their properties below market value to relocate as quickly as possible. The criticism that this theory often receives is that it diminishes the importance of slavery in situating black residents along industrial fence lines up and down the Mississippi River. What? What? The criticism this theory often receives is that it diminishes the importance of slavery. So I'm not sure when this book was. If this is a contemporary book within this world, then that means that slavery is either still in action or was very recent. So they're saying it's interesting then. So corporate decision makers basically putting noxious substances into the environment, decreasing the property value, so that people leave and then they can just scoop them up. It reminds me of that movie that Mark Gruffalo was in, where he plays a lawyer, and this like large corporation have been dumping loads of these toxic chemicals in quite a disconnected part of the country, and then the children and the livestock and the people that live there start to get negative effects from it. And he's a lawyer. That's a great movie. I'll pop the name of that movie in the description, because that absolutely reminds me of that segment there. Okay, so the importance of slavery situation. This is getting heavy. We've got mum dying. We've got slavery. We're barely scratching the surface here. In the words of Carter YX2B, slavery was the deliberate externality from which SHIELD continues to profit. Pollution was never needed. So is this a criticism of slavery? Or a provocation? Fence line diaspora. In the end, we decided to leave Dimes. It wasn't the cat cracker or the smells or the fear of our children's health that drove us away, though that played a part. Truth be told, it was the media attention, the spokespeople and activists and academics, all this. I was done with it. I was done with being a poster child, done with being thought as a victim. I wanted my experience to be my own, not something to gawk at or dissect in a laboratory. Oh. This is pretty heavy. This is pretty heavy stuff. Alright, so we've got the front yard, kitchen, bedroom. Let's go kitchen. Keep seeing these boxes everywhere. I've been playing unpacking recently, and it just reminds me of unpacking. Just, where can we pop this? We can pop that just there. Just there. And look at that. That can be put somewhere more efficient. I don't know, somewhere up here. Anyway, that's a different game. Drugs. Your mum's painkillers are spilled across the counter. Got the reminiscence of like the mother's actions are genuinely heartbreaking. Microwave. You've discovered so many dead cockroaches in this microwave over the years that it's discouraged you from using it. For several months, a dead baby roach was stuck between the clock's display and the protective screen blocking the hour. Blake finally shook the microwave aggressively enough that the roach fell into the guts of the machine. That is hideous. You were always frightened by the laundry room. Laundry's scary. You've got to do detergent, you've got to make sure it's on the right spin. You want fabric softener? I don't know. If you've got sensitive skin, it can be a real problem. It can be. I completely, I sympathise there. There used to be much more clutter up here. You imagine your mum gave it away as the end approached. Ooh, we've gone from that like consistent music track to just complete silence up here. That's it. Cool. It's almost eerie. Little teddy there. Right. Okay, so it looks as though we've explored the whole house. We've got backyard. Let's go backyard. Oh. Okay, we found someone. They look like a robot or an alien of some sort. Oh, it's not. A disintegrating crab net. Blue taught your mum how to make these, and your mum taught you. In the summers, you'd bite to the suction before sunrise. Tie chicken necks to the bottom rings of the net, submerge it, sit there nursing your coffee while the swamp raised its voice. You'd come home with a dozen or so crabs snapping and writhing in a burlap bag. You assume your mum hadn't been out on the water much this past year. God. Your mum's old 4-cylinder 350cc bike. It has extensive rust and wear. Pry bar? Steel pry bar lies on the ground. I feel like I should be able to pick that up. If this is a point-and-click adventure game, I feel like that is useful. When have you ever not needed something like a pry bar? I mean, in Disco Elysium, you can run around holding that thing the entire time. I'm a big fan of these point-and-click adventure games where you're not necessarily controlling a character, but you have a very curated, authored scene that you kind of explore. It's cool. Oh, that's the front yard. This truck was your grandfather's. You remember riding in his lap while he let you steer, the dead wasps that collected behind the seat, the smell of grease, whiskey, and nicotine. You and Blake would drive the truck into New Orleans on the weekends. No AC, window down. The rattling chassis was deafening, going 75 on Interstate 10. Million has been slowly repairing the vehicle since your mum's death. So is this Million? Well, it could be. Okay, I think if I speak to this character, we're going to probably carry on the story, so I want to explore the front yard first. And that takes me... Statue? Inside, backyard, street. Alright. Your grandfather's statue of the Virgin Mary sits in the shadows along the crawl space of the house. Where is our granddad? Well, he died, didn't he? He died. Your mum fed the neighbourhood strays. They must be hungry since she passed. 3 times this house is flooded. And you're probably wondering why there is a cut in the action. We had a slight audio issue midway through, so I've sorted it all out. As you can see, the room's a little bit darker because the sun's come round. So, yeah, we'll crack straight back on. So, 3 times this house has flooded. The first flood. The first flood is a shadow of a memory. Placing your feet down on drenched carpet, your mum and grandfather ripping out sheetrock, sitting in a small RV in the backyard, setting dolls on a cluttered little table. The second flood. You were 14. The pumping station failed during a heavy rain. You were in class watching the clouds move upriver. You got a text message from your mum. Stay in Destrehan. I'll come get you. For 2 weeks you shared a hotel room with your mum and Blake. You spent all her days gutting the house. In the evenings you would sometimes help. And the third flood. Another pump failure. Your mum hired contractors with the insurance money. She said she was getting too old for it. You were bitter. You blamed her for not selling the house sooner. You stay with your friends in New Orleans. The fourth flood? I just said there was only 3. I can't help but feel between the second and third that there's a gradual deterioration between the relationship of our main character and their parent. Like initially it was we had to get a hotel together, and then by the third flood they're angry with each other. The fourth flood. The fourth flood will follow a slow hurricane, and it will be a calamity. Will be. Like a premonition? It will leave the entire region submerged as critical levees breach. There will be a massive blackout that lasts weeks. Much of the sewerage infrastructure will be damaged beyond repair. The embattled federal government will do nothing to assist. It will bankrupt the region. Small militant enclaves will form along the high ground of the Mississippi River. They will take to piracy and hijack commercial shipping vessels. Private mercenary forces will retaliate in kind. Slowly industries will flee this hot zone. The old river control structure will collapse from neglect and sabotage. The Mississippi River will again change its course. Norco, an old abandoned refinery town on a ghost of a river. So Norco is the town. Shield is the corporation. We knew that as well from the paperwork on the desk. Okay. Your house will be squatted and then raised. Very interesting. So that seems like a premonition of what's going to happen. It's interesting how piracy kind of forms on this river in the future, and it just completely deteriorates. Okay. So we check these. Statue. Okay. Ooh. Oh, we have a bit of wind outside, apologies. You observe the weathered concrete and flaking paint of the statue. We're talking about floods and hurricanes. I think we're having one here. I've had to put something up against my window to keep the light. Okay. You observe the weathered concrete and flaking paint of the statue. Inspect further. The face is especially deteriorated, framed by a system of cracks. You run your hands along the deteriorating contours of the statue. What? It snaps off as if by design. Behind the statue's face hides an old assemblage of electronics carelessly soldered together. It looks like a DVD slot or a card reader or something. At the centre of the electronic configuration is what appears to be a card reader. Can we do anything with it? Mary? Mary. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the backyard and let's speak to Million finally. Million sits in her characteristic slouch, lost in thought. Her carapace has taken on the rusted and weather-worn quality of the rest of the machinery in the yard. You recall the night that your mum showed up with her. You and Blake stayed up past dawn, poring over pirated API docs. Her ragdoll mass would slump on the floor as you wrote the routing procedure. You wonder if such memories hide behind the constellation of her eyes. The robot regards you casually. Kay, you're awake. Best sleep in years. The sounds of the refinery did always help you sleep, didn't it? In any case, I'm certain I was no help. I was turning over the engine on that bike to test the coils. It was quite noisy, but they're in good shape now. All I need is a fuse and we can use it to get around while I finish repairing the truck. Okay, so the first item, looks like the first item we're going to need is a fuse to get the bike working. I heard the phone ring inside, but I had my hands full. Where can we get a fuse? The gas station just up the road has them, but you may have to persuade Troy to let you in. Were you expecting a call? Many people have been calling since Catherine died. Your brother is usually the one to answer the phone, but I don't know where he went off to. I wonder where he could be. Likely at the bar or bookstore if I had to guess. Why would so many people be calling? Your mother left behind a lot of loose ends. From what little I know, I gather she was conducting research for a client in Fat City. It's a strange name for a city. Full of fat cats, probably. I sense that many people would like to acquire that data. I am unaware of where she has hidden it. Perhaps Blake knows its whereabouts. Who exactly would want to see that data? The data. Your mother spent her entire life researching this town. She knew histories that others have forgotten. History has a lot of value in this place. Who is this client? I haven't a clue. These aren't things she discussed with me. As the cancer spread, she became more guarded with her research. She always kept strange company. An occupational hazard, I suppose. So anyway, that's all. Okay, so I need to get a fuse for the bike. Okay. Floodgate Tavern, where her brother might be. Okay. So, we'll check the window. The snowball stand is closed for the winter. Paddy Private Investigators, we snoop for you. The lights are on at Paddy Private Investigators. The turtle, he crawled out the trash can. Don't touch him, see, he's dirty. No, he's not. Turtles are always clean. They live in water. Trash water is not clean. We got to go, see. Just let me stare a little longer, he's pretty. You knock, no answer. Floodgate Tavern added to the map. Home. Floodgate Tavern, okay. The Floodgate Tavern. Many shield workers gather here after their shifts. Okay, so this government agency, people come here after. Well, government agency? No, they're not a government agency, are they? Just an oil corporation. It's closed. Should be open later in the evening. Okay. A film crew is set up along River Road. Several floodlights illuminate a gruesome murder scene. Two men stand pensively above a corpse. Approach the set. As you near the set, a small, energetic man jumps from his chair. Attention, dumbass. Okay. Alright. You don't have to be so rude, do you? Can't you see we're trying to shoot here? What are you filming? It's a detective drama called None of Your Business. None of your goddamn business. Any other questions? That is rude. Is he calling... stupid? Is he calling me stupid? Hey. You know what? Wait a second. You from round here? Yeah, we could use some cultural expertise, you might say. We're filming a Bayou cop drama and all these knuckleheads are from LA. An actor on set turns towards the director. I told you, Kevin, I'm from Texas. Oh, that's right. Noah, I forgot, your Harvard-educated daddy bought a boutique ranch outside Austin. Well, that don't make you a cowboy hoss. Now hush up before you scare off the yokel. He's calling me a yokel. This guy. I was very tempted to do it like attempt a Texan accent there, but the only reference point I have is Kevin Spacey in House of Cards. And, well, I'm just not going to attempt that. But if it does slip out, that's where it's coming from. Okay, so I'm a yokel, apparently. This guy, he's not very nice, is he? The director returns his attention to you with a mild look of disgust. Help us out, will you? This script needs some work. What do you say? I mean, the way he's speaking to me, I do not want to help him, but I feel artistically inclined to get involved, so great. Hey Noah, get over here so you can learn something from this stupid redneck. I want to cut this guy. The actor smoulders. He whispers under his breath. I'm a redneck. Fine, Noah, you're a redneck, a real salt of the earth kind of guy. But as luck would have it, we came across an even dumpier hayseed than you, okay? So just take a knee. Alright, anyway, we need some good slang. What do you call a villain? A bad apple? A lowlife? Asshole, bad daddy, a crawfish devil. A crawfish devil sounds so badass. Crawfish devil. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that one. Crawfish devil. You nod solemnly. Yep, that makes sense. Director. Wow. Now that is some spicy Louisiana shit right there. Did you get that, Noah? Write that shit down. Crawfish devil. Damn, that's good. That's sultry. Who says that? No one says that. No one at Juilliard says it, Noah. But we're down here in the muck. This guy. I've been hearing all kinds of people say it down here. It just slipped my mind. Great, that's settled. One more thing. What's a more regional way of saying to murder, to kill? Slay is definitely not going to be it. Send him home with the roosters. Okay. Slather him with the oyster flavoured peanut butter. That sounds disgusting. That sounds absolutely... I'm not doing that. We're going to send him home with the roosters. Send him home with the roosters. You maintain severe eye contact. Roosters. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Sounds raw. Sounds real. Remember it, Noah. Home with the roosters. Well, I'm satisfied. The crawfish devil sent another poor bastard home with the roosters. Sends a shiver down my spine. I seriously have to repeat this. This is how real people speak, Noah. It's how people talk outside Silver Lake, you understand? Real people are out here saying weird, gross shit all the time. So memorize that line, because that line is going to win me a Golden Globe. Oh, the director half remembers your presence. I'm pretty good at sourcing talent, aren't I? Always had a knack for it. I guess I owe you one. If you ever need anything, talk to Noah or someone else on set, just don't bother me. I'm busy. Now get lost. What a hideous person. What an absolute scumbag. I gave him gold, and he's just mean to me. Part of me wants to find something in this gas station that is sharp and kill him with it, but... So many evenings spent watching traffic pass by this gas station. Little has changed, the neighbouring business still sits abandoned, the surrounding streets are quiet and empty. Well. Look who's back. Oh, fuck, look at this guy. Oh. I mean, looks aren't everything, and I'm sure he's a pleasant fellow. Jeez. He looks like a character from Hotline Miami. What happened? Carnival forget you beside the road. What is it? The last two people I've spoken to have been horrible. This place is grim. We need to get out of this place. And you even brought your little doll. Don't fuck with my monkey. Alright? That's cute. Wow, Troy, you look like shit. Back because my mum died. Yeah, that's pretty fair. You're not that stupid, are you? Catherine, she too valuable. They never let her die. If anything, she's probably vacationing on a hard drive somewhere. Vacationing on a hard drive somewhere. I always find it super interesting with games like this, where if they've got magic or they've got some sort of science that goes beyond, what we currently have, it's always interesting to see how far they push the boundaries and what the limits are, because sometimes science and magic, as much as they're a crux for the story, like a spell can help a character out in a pinch. I love it when a game or a movie has magic, but it actually complicates and makes the situation harder. So I think it's always really interesting to see at what point we're going to kind of veer into the veer away from reality. And this line here, she's probably vacationing on a hard drive somewhere. Like, can people's consciousness get uploaded to a hard drive in this world? We shall see. But it's also interesting to see that he doesn't think that the mum's dead. I mean, she had cancer, as far as we're aware, and died from that, and that was pretty detailed. So, you're trolling me. Get lost. Get lost. You don't get it, do you? Lucky you got somebody like me to break things down for your dim-witted ass. Your mum was excavating all along the rim of the lake. She used to pay me to help from time to time, matter of fact. She needed someone smart, Somebody vigilant. Someone like me. Especially with Shield snooping round. I see some wild shit out there in them swamps with Catherine. What kind of shit? I won't bother telling you about it might hurt your brain. And anyhow, this ain't story time. Not letting you in this gas station. Goddamn company that runs this dump did me dirty. They swapped me with an ATM machine for speaking truth. Ain't letting nobody through till I get an apology, very least. You clearly deserved it. What prick. Go huff some glue. If you really want to get through, go get me some pills. Your brother was selling. That might... Oh, I can fight him. I am a lover, not a fighter. So we will try the non-violent route first. Pills were on the table in the kitchen. So if I go back and get those pills, come back and speak to him. If that doesn't work, then I will fight him. Yeah, shuffle off then. I think we can get back to the house pretty quickly. What a horrible man. Aha! Can we pick these up? We can pick these up. You pocket your mum's pills. Sorry, mum. So we can go... Dimes discount. You got me them pills, only way you're getting through. Yeah, I got your pills. Smart move. I'll let you cross the picket line this time, punk. Oh, what's this? A freight loader is being repaired in the Batcher Woods over the levee. I did not see that before. Okay. Oh. This is the ATM he was talking about. Protein bars, bubble gum, breath mints, taffy. Oh, there's a fuse. That's just what we need. Fuses hang on the shelf. You grab a fuse. Kiosk. I detect that you have merchandise in your possession. You must remove any unpurchased items from your backpack and scan them in order to exit the store. To use an item in your inventory, drag the item from the inventory menu to the intended target. Inventory. I need to scan it. That's the scanner. You scan the fuse. Thank you for your purchase. Cool. The disembodied illuminated head of the kiosk levitates silently in the browser tab. Good evening. How may I help you? You own this place? I am Discountware, a distributed cloud-based operating system for the American Discount Southeast Incorporated semantic version number 16.3.3. Oh gosh. The owner of this franchise is Piraloo & Sons LLC. Discountware is licensed to Piraloo & Sons LLC via the standard American Discount Southeast Incorporated licensing agreement. Okay. How'd you like this job? I proudly perform the routine maintenance operations and procedures of 227 American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise locations across the Southeast region. American Discount Southeast Incorporated is a model company awarded for excellence in business and community service. Thank you for inquiring about the American Discount Southeast Incorporated. Do you know Troy, that guy outside? Thank you for your inquiry. I am forwarding it to the Piraloo & Sons LLC. Piraloo & Sons LLC has declined to respond to your inquiry. So why Troy get fired? An American Discount Southeast Incorporated prides itself on its outstanding mentorship and jobs training program. American Discount Southeast Incorporated works to ensure that each franchise location provides opportunities for career growth. At American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise locations, we leverage automation and machine learning technologies to enhance the lives of all employees. To apply for the position at any American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise location, please visit American Discount SE-ADSE today. I'm good. I'm glad that's over. That definitely deserves a deserves a like and a sub, I think, because I must have said those 4 words at least 6 or 7 times in that. Okay, so we've got our fuse. Oh, cigarettes. Are they cigarettes? Immaculately stocked cigarettes. I wonder if this place ever started checking IDs during high school. Friends in the city would drive all this way just to get booze. Okay. Where can we go? Batcher. Okay, we need to go back to Million, but before we do that, let's have a little check here. A memorial languishes in the river mud. A 2x4 cross plywood plaque cairns on pulverized concrete. Oh, that's eerie. Sprayed haphazardly onto the plywood is a remembrance. Here passed the brave freedom fighters of January XW11, whose cries of liberty echo through the generations. In much smaller lettering, a different hand scratched "fake" across the bottom of the plaque. A lone horse drinks from the stagnant water poured along the riverbank. So there's land in the distance. And that's a boat, like a freighter boat that's just gone past. A man sits on a pile of flotsam, his head buried in the canvas jacket against the sharp air. Let's have a speak. Looks quite scary. Ooh, stupid horse. The man's gaze stays fixed on the opposite bank of the river, never turning to you nor the horse. Yeah? He spits on the dirt at his feet. You know what all they dump in the water? You know what all they dump in that water? Hell of a cocktail. He spits again, wiping a string of mucus onto his sleeve. What you do out here for anyone? Ain't you heard they got a criminal on the loose? Bringing the law around here, making things harder for the rest of us. Best be sharp, young one. There's a criminal out here. Okay. Okay. Can I speak to this guy again? No. Apple Street. Oh. The tortoise is gone. This place isn't open yet. Okay. Can we go back? You got the fuse? Good. We'll be able to use the bike to get around town until I'm done with the truck. It concerns me that Blake still hasn't returned. He's been spending a lot of time at Sarpy Paperbacks lately. Perhaps we should look for him there. Let's go! Oh, this looks awesome. The sky bleeds a colour you knew as a child. Airline highway passes beneath your feet. Million has joined your party. Interact with party members by clicking their portraits in the party menu. If you're stuck, they may be able to help. Wait, so Monkey's a party member? Monkey stares at you, you stare at Monkey. Okay. I've got a bit more to uncover. Okay. Let's go mum first. Your mum was conducting research. For who? For a client in Fat City. Million was a security android. She guarded the perimeter of the aluminium refinery in Gramercy. One day she ran away. Why? You don't know. Million was a fugitive. Once a fugitive, now just a relic. She spends hours in stasis beneath the house like any discarded thing would. Million Troy knows your family. He was buying pills from Blake and occasionally helping your mum with her research. He says she was conducting research in the lake. Shield is an oil refinery. Shield Gulf South is a regional subsidiary of a transnational oil empire. It holds a large share of leases in the Gulf of Mexico and refines crude oil right here in Norco. The chemical annex sits on the other side of town from the refinery. It produces the feedstock for plastic consumer products. Shield owns half the town. Shield. Your mum was conducting research for a client in Fat City. That's all you know. Lillian shouts over the wind. The bike runs much better now. You can use it to get around during your visit. Where could Blake be? He spends much of his time at the Sarpy paperbacks. Perhaps we should check there. How's Blake been? The year that you left, Blake became uncontrollable. His behaviour troubled Catherine deeply. He was beginning to remind her of your grandfather. Okay. The grandfather's dead. And he does... that's an interesting exposition. So what's going on with this grandfather? Or what went on with him? Seems like a bit of a loose cannon. After he was expelled from Destrahan, he began running drugs into the parish. He made himself many enemies. This is Blake. He puts those things behind him after her illness, but now that she's gone, I'm uncertain what to expect. This place can ruin people. Perhaps. I'm sorry for leaving. Blake took it very personally, but your mother understood. She always wanted you to experience America while you could. Did you take it personally? How have you been? I'm always the same, Kay. Always the same. Is that bad or good? Whichever you prefer. Sounds zen, perhaps. What's it been like around town? Shield has been expanding since you left. Catherine took your grandfather's boat into the lake to investigate reports of construction in the swamps along the shoreline. She assumed it to be unpermitted Shield activity. She wasn't able to find any evidence of it. However, it was clear that she found something during that investigation. What was it? I don't know. Perhaps you do? Haven't spoken to her in years. How would I know? Dog barking outside. Haven't spoken to her in years. How would I know? Has Blake not mentioned anything? No. In any event, something drew her to the lake in the months before her death. That is if she is dead. Okay, so that's the Shield oil refinery there. This is Norco. So this is all Norco, basically, and that's the refinery, like in the middle. And that's Sarpy Books. Okay. Perfect. Okay, guys, I think that's probably a good place to leave the first episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, give yourself a pat on the back. And yeah, I'm going to be playing this game quite a lot. I do intend to finish it. At the moment, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm loving the tone, I'm loving the art style, I'm loving the music, I'm loving the mystery, I'm fully invested in the characters. I'm quite surprised I actually missed this one, as these typically are the type of games that I absolutely love, and it's really kind of living up to that at the moment. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and keep an eye out, and we'll see you next time. Au revoir. Boom.